Hello Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Virgo, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. So with all that being said, Virgo, let's get started. How does Virgo currently view this relationship? Very nice, Virgo. So we do have the Seven of Wands, we do have the Six of Wands, and then we also have the King of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Five of Swords. We also have the World, and then we also have the Three of Swords out here. Okay. In regards to how you're currently viewing this relationship, Virgo, with the Three of Swords to the Five of Swords coming out here, it kind of looks like you finally freed yourself from a very vicious cycle that you were in with someone in particular. I'm just getting a whole lot of like tick for tack going on here between you and this person. It's like this person would turn around, right, and do something to hurt you, and then you'll turn around and do something to hurt them. And then they'll turn around and do something to hurt you, and then you'll turn around and do something to hurt them. Like, it just kind of looks like you were caught up in a very, very vicious cycle, Virgo, with someone. You know, this does kind of, look like a very unhealthy, relationship between you and this person. But if it's one thing that I will say is this, Virgo, with the World coming out here, I feel like you made the choice. I do. I feel like you made a choice to put an end to this toxic and unhealthy relationship. It kind of looks like you kind of reached this point of, you know what, enough is enough, Enough is enough. And it kind of looks like, yeah, you made the choice to get up and walk away from this person. Now, with the Six of Wands to the King of Pentacles coming out here, currently at the moment, and I feel like this does have a lot to do with your experience with this person, if I'm being totally honest. It kind of looks like you're putting love on the back burner right now. And, just kind of taking this time, Virgo, to really focus on work, your career, your business if you have one, your education for those of you who are in school. You're just taking this time out to just really focus on you and where you want to be at career-wise, business-wise, and or financially. All right, nice. As far as love is concerned, it kind of looks like you don't really want anything to do with that right now. Totally understandable. Totally understandable. How does this person currently view this relationship? Okay, so we do have the Queen of Pentacles. We do have the Tower. And then we also have the King of Wands. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Five of Cups. Okay. Okay. Virgo, in regards to how they're currently viewing this relationship, it kind of looks like this person has been reflecting a lot on their relationship with you and the way that they went about it with a boatload of regret. The fact that you guys are both showing up as masculine energies, that's kind of telling me that there was a lot of fighting and a lot of arguing and a whole lot of not seeing eye to eye, but also a boatload of ego and pride. Because when we see masculine on masculine energy, there's bound to be tension, conflict, ego, and pride all over the joint. You know what I mean? But yeah, it just kind of looks like this person has been thinking a lot, Virgo, about you and the way that they went about their relationship with you with a lot of regret. It's like this person wishes they could go back into time and undo everything. Everything that they did to hurt you, everything that they did to let you down, everything that they did to disappoint you. This kind of sucks. I'm not going to lie. This kind of sucks because you guys are showing up as a true pair to one another. The King of Pentacles is considered to be the perfect partner card. And the Queen of Pentacles is considered to be the perfect partner card. I don't know. I feel like this kind of sucks because you guys were like really, really perfect for each other. Yeah. You guys really were. But once this relationship between the two of you started going south, man, it didn't necessarily feel that way. Like you guys were perfect for each other, is concerned. But, they just kind of feel like the damage is done. They do. They feel like the damage is done. They kind of feel like everything that they did put you through, there is no coming back from that. There is no coming back from that. And I feel like that's the part that sucks. And that's the part that hurts this person the most, is that there is no coming back from that. They can't go back into time and undo everything that they ever put you through. They can't. And they know that they can't, you know? So because this person feels like the damage, technically speaking, is done, they also feel like it's really over. It's really over between the two of you. And that, of course, hurts their hearts. I am getting that, but how does Virgo currently feel? So we do have the 5 of Pentacles. We do have the 10 of Wands, as well as the Ace of Cups to the 9 of Pentacles. In regards to how you're currently feeling, you poured a lot of yourself into your marriage with this person or your relationship with this person. And I just kind of feel like you're extremely... I feel like this is like a typical Virgo thing, because Virgos can be very hard on themselves. But Virgo, I just kind of feel like you're extremely like disappointed in yourself that you didn't walk away sooner. So that's kind of telling me that your relationship was pretty bad, you know, with this person possibly for a while. And it kind of looks like you stuck around longer than what you should have. And I feel like that's the part that like really like upsets you. It's kind of what I'm getting, is that you didn't walk away sooner. You didn't walk away sooner. I'm also getting, moving forward, you're very determined to not make the same mistakes again. Like when you are ready to put yourself out there, right, and love again, you're very determined to not make the same mistakes. Instead of sitting around waiting for things to change, things to get better, that person to change, you're just going to get up and walk away. You know, the moment that you notice that, you know, first red flag, you know, you're not going to sit there and pretend that that red flag is purple or blue, you know what I mean, or green. You're just going to accept it for what it is and walk away, you know, because the time that you invested into this person is something that you can never get back. I mean, time is the most valuable thing you could ever give a person. It's the one thing you can never get back. So moving forward, my friend, when you are ready to love again, which it does kind of feel like you don't necessarily feel like you're ready to love again just yet, but when you are ready to love again, you're very determined, you know, to not make the same mistakes ever again. I'm also getting that you really did put them in your relationship with this person first. And with that being said, it kind of looks like this time around, you just want to put yourself first and pour into yourself for a little bit, you know, before you turn around and start pouring into somebody brand new. Okay. Let's look at this human. How does this person currently feel? Come on. All right, so we do have the Queen of Swords. We have the High Priestess. And then we also have the 3 of Wands. I do feel like this person does like secretly like watch you, but like from afar is kind of what I'm getting. So I do feel like there's times where they tend to kind of like get very curious, you know, when it comes down to you and, you know, how you're doing and, you know, things of that nature. But yeah, I do feel like this person does like secretly, you know, watch you from afar and keep tabs on you. But again, from afar. Okay. Kind of looks like ever since this Tower moment occurred here between the two of you, you guys haven't seen one another and or spoken to one another. Tell me more about the 3 of Wands. Okay. We have the Fool, we have the 5 of Cups, we also have the Sun, and then we also have the 3 of Pentacles. Don't get me wrong, Virgo. I do feel like this person still does, you know, love you and care, you know, for you deeply. I am definitely getting that. There's still a big part of them that would love for the two of you to, you know, get back together and fix things and repair things with one another. But with the Fool to the 5 of Cups, I just keep getting that this person feels like the damage is done. You know what I mean? So much to the point where they kind of feel like there is no fixing this. There is no such thing as us ever making this better. You know what I mean? So as much as this person, you know, wants you, right? And what they once upon a time had with you, you know, back in their life all over again, they just kind of feel like it's just never going to happen, and it's just never going to, work out because, the damage is done. What actions? This person, they feel very stagnant. I am getting that. This person feels very stagnant to me. You, not so much, Virgo, which kind of makes sense. I mean, you are harnessing a lot of masculine energy right now. You're just being very proactive when it comes down to like you and what you're trying to do with your life, things of that nature. Them, on the other hand, like they're just in a very stuck and stagnant place. And I do feel like it has a lot to do with this tower moment. This tower moment that took place between the two of you is what's prompting them to be in a very stuck and stagnant place because they're spending a lot of time dwelling on what was and, things of that nature. You, on the other hand, we don't really see you dwelling on what happened between the two of you, how much it sucks, how much it hurts, how much you don't like it. Like, no. We don't see you stopping to dwell anymore on this dynamic between the two of you. I do feel like you did spend a lot of time dwelling when you were with them, but now that you're not with them, you're no longer dwelling. But it's interesting because when this person was with you, they didn't find themselves dwelling whatsoever on things. I am getting that. They didn't find themselves doing that whatsoever, but now that it's over and done with, it's like that's all they do is dwell on you and what was and how much it sucks and how much it hurts and how they're disappointed and things of that nature. Okay, what actions will Virgo take towards this person or moving forward? I actually have to look at this person first because I feel like this person plays a massive role in why you're harnessing this energy to the left of me. So let me look at them, I guess, first. What actions will this person take towards Virgo or moving forward? So we do have the Ace of Swords, we do have the Three of Cups, and then we also have the Ten of Swords. I do see this person deciding to break their silence. Let's see why this person's deciding to break their silence, Virgo, because they are breaking their silence. And they are extending themselves to you. This person might specifically request a face-to-face conversation with you, or this person might say something along the lines of like, hey, like, it's me, I know you probably don't want to honestly hear from me or ever see my face again, but hey, it's me. I just wanted to talk, Tell me more about the King. So you guys kind of ended things on, well, it makes sense because there was like a lot of tick for tack going on between you and this person. So it kind of looks like, you and this human kind of ended things on a really bad note from the looks of it. But let's look at the Three of Cups, shall we? Tell me more about the Three of Cups. Okay, we got the Four of Swords in the reverse. Got the Knight of Swords in the reverse. And then we also have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel like this is the energy this person's harnessing prior to extending themselves to you. They're just kind of like under the impression, Virgo, that if they were to like reach out to you, you're not going to respond so well. You're not going to respond so well to, their text or their return just in general. You're not going to respond so well to it. And I feel like it has a lot to do, with the fact that this is somebody who did obviously bring a lot of pain and disappointment and suffering into your life. In other words, they know they left a bad taste in your mouth. They know. They know. But they're still like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to call Virgo. I'm just going to text Virgo. And I guess we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? All right. I feel like this person, I feel like this person wants to talk to you. I am definitely getting that, but I don't feel like this person's telling you off rip what they want to talk to you about. It's kind of like the epitome of them like hitting you with the, "Hey Virgo, it's me, the King of Swords. Like, can we talk?" Because this to me just kind of feels like an energy of like curiosity. It's like you're very curious to like know what is it this person wants. Like I feel like their choice of words is what's initially luring you in. Like, I wonder what this person wants. I wonder what this person has to say to me. Like, it has that type of flavor, okay? Tell me more about the King of Swords. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I'm just gonna have to kind of like be very, because when this person reaches out to you, it just kind of feels like the epitome of them like kind of like beating around the bush as to like why they're calling you, why they're texting you, like the real reason. In other words, why they are calling you and why they are texting you. When this person does reach out to you, Virgo, they're gonna find themselves talking a lot about this tower moment that occurred here between the two of you, but also everything else that went down within this marriage and a relationship between the two of you. It's like this person just wants you to know that they really did love you. They really did care about you, and they really did want this relationship between the two of you to work out. And they really are, extremely unhappy and, disappointed that things didn't work out between the two of you. Because if it's one thing that I will say is that they didn't want to experience another failed marriage. They didn't want to experience another failed relationship. It's like this person feels the need to like tell you, that they really, really did not want to experience another failed marriage and a relationship. They really, really did want things to work out. And it's like they just kind of feel like they need to tell you that. Like, because they kind of feel like the way that they walked away from this relationship, they kind of feel like it kind of like gave you the impression that they didn't really give a fuck about their marriage with you or their relationship with you. And it's not that they didn't give a fuck. You got to keep in mind that we did see the Three of Swords to the Five of Swords. So there was a lot of ego and pride going on between you and this one. And the both of you were doing it. You know what I mean? So like this person could have turned around and did something to hurt you, and you would be walking around like, I don't care. I don't care. But deep down inside, you do care a whole lot. Deep down inside, what they did really did hurt you. You see what I mean? So it's like when you decided enough is enough, that really, really did hurt this person. But I feel like they were too busy caught up in like their ego and their pride, so much to the point where they kind of gave off the illusion, right? That they didn't really care. And it was whatever to them, when in all actuality, deep down inside, that just simply wasn't the case. So they kind of feel like they walked away from this relationship giving you a false impression, of them and how they really felt, like they kind of feel like they gave you the impression that they didn't love you. They didn't really care. And it is what it is, they don't care, they're happy it's over, right? And they just don't want you to think that they were happy about this marriage coming to an end or this relationship between the two of you coming to an end, because they didn't want it to come to an end. Now, the reason why I'm saying that I feel like this person's kind of beating around the bush is because, yes, I do feel like these are things that they want to like convey to you, of course, but I feel like there's way more that they want to say to you, that they're going to hold off on saying to you, depending on how you respond and react towards what they're going to say to you initially at first. Virgo, I'm sorry. Didn't really want this to come to an end. This fucking sucks. This actually fucking hurts. I haven't actually, been able to sleep, and I've been extremely unhappy, since you've been gone, blah, 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 blah. Depending on how you respond and react towards this person will determine if they tell you what I see they want to tell you next. I think a blind man could see this one coming right here. But I am definitely getting an energy of them wanting to reconcile with you. I am. Life just hasn't been the same, Virgo, without you in it. They just kind of feel, what's the best way I could describe how this person feels? It's like this person's walking around carrying like a massive void that only you can fill. Okay, so they've been kind of feeling out of whack and just out of place, since you've been gone, and they will love nothing more for the two of you to try to work it out. okay? But see, they're not gonna sit up here and tell you, Virgo, I miss you, I wanna work it out with you, blah, blah, blah. They're not gonna sit there and tell you that just yet, because they wanna see how you're gonna respond and react to what they have to say first. So in other words, if you kind of give this person the impression that, you know, you don't really want anything to do with them, they're not going to turn around and tell you, Virgo, I really want to work this out. Like, they're not going to sit there and tell you all of that. Now, if you give them the impression, right, that you do miss them and that you do want to work this out, then I see this person taking it upon themselves to, like, express to you that, they don't want to lose you and that they do miss you and what they once upon a time had with you. I am definitely getting that. So depending on how you play your cards will determine how they play theirs. Still some ego and pride though going on, which is a little concerning, because I feel like what played a massive role in this dynamic coming to an end between the two of you had a lot to do with ego and pride, a whole lot to do with that. And it came from the both of you, to be honest. It came from the both of you. And I feel like that kind of gave the both of you the impression that you guys didn't really love each other or care about one another, which, makes sense. Like, if this person turns around and does something to hurt you, naturally, you're going to think to yourself, wow, this person doesn't love and care about me. You know what? I'm going to turn around and hurt them, and then they turn around and hurt you, because, oh my God, I can't believe Virgo did this to me, like I thought they loved me. You know what? I'm going to turn around and hurt them. Like, it kind of looks like that's what ended up happening between you and this person. So I am a tad bit concerned that there's still ego, a little bit of ego going on and pride going on their behalf. Because I keep getting that depending on what you say will determine what they say, so there's still some ego and pride going on. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this person needs to kind of work on taming their ego, because ego and pride, I feel is like one of like the things that bring marriages and relationships to an end. Because when you're in a relationship, you got to operate from a place of love. You got to operate from a soul level. And it just kind of looks like neither one of you were kind of doing that, Virgo, in this relationship. The both of you are operating from a place of ego and pride, but I just kind of feel like it's because you guys cause one another to think, believe, and feel like that's what you guys have to do, right? Is operate from a place of ego and pride. Watch your backs when it comes down to one another. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of looks like it started to become like a situation where the both of you kind of started to kind of find yourselves thinking, believing, and feeling like you guys were sleeping with the enemy. Because you kind of looked at them like, you're my fucking enemy, okay? I gotta watch my back when it comes on to you. And it kind of looks like they started to look at you like that too, And I feel like the primary reason why you guys are so fucking disappointed that things didn't work out between the two of you is because, for crying out loud, damn it, you guys are showing up as the King and the Queen of Pentacles. That's pretty fucking impressive. Like, again, the King of Pentacles is the perfect partner card. The Queen of Pentacles is the perfect partner card. Like, if we get rid of the ego, the pride, the fights, the arguments, you guys were perfect. Absolutely perfect for one another. And I think that that's kind of what really, like, hurt the both of you the most, is that the reality of the situation is that you perceive them to be perfect for you and they perceived you to be perfect for them. You know what I mean? And then the moment that this person started letting you down and disappointing you, like, it hurt like hell, because it was coming from someone that you perceived to be perfect for you. And here they are hurting you. Here they are disappointing you. Like, that really did suck and hurt, when you went through that, vice versa. When you started hurting them, it's like they're looking at you like, oh my God, like, I thought you were the one. I thought you were like the perfect person for me. How could you do this, So when you guys started, unfortunately, letting one another down and disappointing one another, it really did a number on the both of you. Because I feel like I just kind of feel like what happened was that you guys were like holding on to this version of you guys that you guys are no longer. God, how do I explain this? Because there was like a specific version of them that caused you to basically feel like, oh my God, this person's perfect for me, vice versa. There was like a specific version of you that caused them to feel like, oh my God, this person's perfect for me. And it's like the moment that things started happening between the two of you, you guys basically felt like you guys couldn't be that for one another anymore, as far as like the perfect human for one another is concerned, because you probably started to feel like over time this person doesn't really value or appreciate, you know, this, that, and the third from you. So therefore they're not going to get this, that, and the third from you. And then, you know, vice versa. So it's like you guys went from being the perfect person for one another to being each other's worst fucking nightmare. It's kind of what I'm getting. But I do feel like a conversation nonetheless will happen between you and this person. You know, and again, Virgo, depending on how you play it will determine, you know, what they say next. I feel like you've taken a lot of time to like tame, you know, your ego and your pride, and not allow your ego and your pride to continue to overpower you and or get the best of you. It's just something that I feel like they still personally need to work on. You know what I mean? Because I am kind of getting a splash of that with the whole like, well, depending on what Virgo tells me will determine what I say in return. Like, so they're still kind of, you know, allowing their ego to kind of call the shots, which is a tad bit concerning. It's something that they do need to work on. That's one thing I will say, but that is what I have for you nonetheless, Virgo. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading.